Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. It was 77 years ago this week when the UFO craze started, and it hasn't stopped since. It was actually Kenneth Arnold had his encounter on June 24th, 1947, when he saw 9 discs flying over Mount Rainier while he was flying his single-engine plane, and that was the beginning of it. And 77 years has gone by now, and still the human race as a whole has not accepted this reality that we're not alone, despite since that time tons, thousands, hundreds of thousands of different reports, different sightings by millions of people from all corners of the planet. And yet we're still pretending as a whole that we don't have enough evidence, we don't have enough proof, when we do. 77 years of governments across the world, for whatever reason, keeping it a secret, and not telling the citizens of the world the truth of the situation. 77 years now. 77 years since this all began, and yet we don't get answers from the people we put in charge. Well, it's pretty easy to understand why. I mean, you think about this, it's the reverse engineering stuff. Or when it comes down to it, that's what it is. At first, there was a lot of other reasons, right? Concerns of panic and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's all gone now. It's not that. It's the reverse engineering. Think about this. Say the United States was to finally announce that, acknowledge that there's something here. That's one thing. But if they were to announce that they also have retrieved craft that has crashed, that's alien in nature, and that they're studying it and trying to reverse engineer it, then you're going to have other people in other countries, other leaders like Putin in Russia is going to be demanding that, well, you got to tell us about this too. This isn't fair. I mean, even though they apparently have their own recovered craft as well as China does too, right? I'm sure that these enemy countries out there have some recovered materials as well, from according to different researchers, but. That's probably the game that they're concerned about playing. They're concerned about playing a game of, hey, well, we don't trust you. If you don't share this information with us, then we're going to have a nuclear war or blah, blah, blah. It'll be something like that. It's all because you know what? The human race, let me tell you something. The human race is stupid. It's stupid. And guess what? The alien presence here, it knows. It knows how stupid we are, how naive we are, how easily manipulated people are. They know because they are. We are. I mean, the human race is unbelievably stupid as a whole. It's no question about it. You could check the internet. You could see the stupidity all over the place. You see lies being told by major news outlets, and people believe it because they're stupid. They don't know how to investigate things themselves, to figure things out for themselves. They take everything for gospel, depending on who they like or don't like, or who they hate or love. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, right? They allow themselves to get inside these echo chambers where they hear what they want to hear. That's how the human race is, because the human race is stupid, and these aliens know it. And because we're so stupid, that's why we have allowed 77 years to go by without addressing this, without facing this head on, and finally coming out and saying, yep, there's something here. We're not alone. There's something else here. I know this for a fact. I know. I mean, I'm like one of millions, tens of millions of people who have had encounters. So I know that this is real. But yet, despite those millions of people who have had encounters and have taken photographs or video or film or whatever, or have collected physical trace evidence, or the fact that there's cattle mutilations ongoing for decades, right? And there's still no answer, even though UFOs are always seen around, and we're still, for some reason, acting dumb about this, because we are dumb as a whole. Speaking of dumb, before I go any further, I just want to make another correction, even though I already corrected it, but I need to do it again because I just want to point something out. Now, I had to make a correction in the last podcast because I stated that the upcoming MUFON symposium, I stated in 2 podcasts ago that it was in Vegas, when it's actually in Irving, Texas. It's in Irving, Texas. And then in the last podcast, when I made that correction, I stated it was on June 13th. Right? No, that was a mistake. So what I actually did was I went back to that podcast and I cut every part out where I said June 13th. It's actually July 13th is when they're going to be showing this, revealing this materials that they have that's apparently from a UAP that's not from, and they're going to be able to apparently prove that it's not from this world. So it's actually July 13th. And it's actually July 11th through the 14th is when this symposium is going to be taking place in Irving, Texas. But it's July 13th when they're going to unveil that. But yeah, even I'm not exempt from being stupid. Just so you know, to make it clear, I'm in the group too. We're all part of this stupid group. That we all are. There's some who are stupider than some others, right? That's true too, right? But guess what? All of us are stupid because for some reason we've allowed 77 years to go by, and we're still pretending. We're still not acknowledging the reality of this as a whole. For some reason, and the people that we put in charge, we I don't know, maybe we need to put other people in charge at this point, because the people that we have there aren't telling us the truth. Maybe it's time that they get fired and we put somebody else in there instead, because right now they're not serving the people here by keeping this a secret still. That's how I'm seeing it. So maybe we need new people in charge. Maybe we need new people to be handling this. Right, because we're not getting the answers. Congress has been trying to do stuff, but they're not. You know what? They're not doing it hard enough. They're dragging this out. Let's get some action in Congress already. I'm tired of this nonsense going on in Washington. Right? I'm tired of it. All of us are tired of it. We want stuff down, not 2 years from now or 5 years from now. We want it now. We're sick of this. It's time to. 77 years is too long. What do you want to make it? 80, 90, 100? What are we waiting for? I'm sick of the stupidity, and these alien presence. I can tell you, they must look at us and, my God, look at how dumb these people are. They're so dumb. We could easily look how easily they manipulate each other. Look at how easy it would be for them to manipulate us. When you think about it, it's incredible. But you look at the stories. I mean, we know, right, that this is going on. I mean, there's just so many different reports throughout the years. You know, recently I was just reading this. I just picked up this book, and I still haven't finished it, but it's fantastic. It's the French UFO Wave of 1954 by Graham Rendell, and great book so far. I'm really enjoying it. And it talks about I've talked about it on the show before about what was going on in France during August, September, October, November, and then into early December. With regard to all the alien encounters and UFO sightings that people were seeing in France at that moment in time. Now, you would think with all of these people at that time, all of these hundreds of different reports throughout that time period, you would think that alone, right, that little segment of history right there would inform us that, oh yeah, we're not alone. Look at all these people. All of them can't be lying. But guess what? We didn't accept it we didn't accept it back then. We still didn't. We're still not accepting it. It's been going on a long time now, and yet we just continue to be stupid. And it's just a sad state of affairs. And our government officials that we have in charge, unelected ones apparently, they're not telling us things that they should have been telling us a long time ago. And meanwhile, our elected officials, while I give them credit here in the United States at this point for the last few years, still it's not enough. Because we still have a cover-up going on, and they're not taking action quick enough. Instead, they're worrying about other things when this is a giant gorilla on our back right now that needs to be removed, and they're not acting quick enough to remove that. Now, I know there must be a segment out there that doesn't want to, they're afraid, right? Some people who actually know, I'm not talking about control group, I'm talking about people in Congress. I'm talking about some people in the UFO community who want to slow roll this thing. They want to keep slow rolling it. Well, guess what? The slow rolling's over because the evidence is there now. We have it, as I've been talking about here the last few months. And so it's already there. So I don't know what slow roll what? Slow roll what? I mean, we already have the evidence. It's over, right? As I've been talking about. It's already done. I mean, I know there's some people in the UFO community who won't even comment on this or they don't want to accept it. Well, guess what? That's fine, but you're stupid. I just want to tell you, you're stupid. You're dumb, and you're a perfect example of a stupid, greedy human being. That's what you are. You're a perfect example of that. Greedy, selfish, dumb, ignorant, moronic, just stupid. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You're an imbecile. Imbeciles are within the UFO community. Don't fool yourself. This is some of them apparently went to drag this thing out. I don't know. They don't know what they're going to do next, I guess. I guess they're concerned about once disclosure finally happens, which it really did. It's already over. We have the end-all evidence now. It's absolute. There's no question about it, right? The only thing that needs to be resolved now is to get the government to come clean and tell us, because we all know now that they have to know, right? I mean, if we have evidence that shows that there's something here, that means for sure that the government has to know something, right? So that's the only thing that needs to be resolved right now. But some people in the UFO community don't want to accept it. They don't want. They don't want. They want this. They think it's a gravy train just to keep talking the way we are, the way we've been. But I don't understand it. I don't understand that. We need to get over this hump knot right now, because we have the evidence now, and it should be a done deal. We're crossed the red line at this point, as Richard Dolan likes to say. That red line has been crossed. I'm not sure if he realizes it or not. But guess what? That red line, Richard, has been crossed. As much as I love Richard Dolan, but guess what? He hasn't commented on this. There's a lot of people out there who haven't commented on this. They obviously either they haven't taken the time to absorb this evidence that has been presented. I mean, I'm so confident of it. I sent a letter to the Pentagon, right? But some people in the UFO community, for some reason, are still not talking about this, and I'm not happy about it. And nobody should be happy about this, because guess what? That now seems like they're pulling rugs over your face too. It seems like the people in the UFO community who are pretending the evidence doesn't exist now, the absolute evidence, those people, right? They're acting just the same way as the government has been acting all these years. That's what's going on here. It's a cover-up within a cover-up now. Now they're going to make it even. They want. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they're waiting for. This is what they should have been. You think everyone would have been happy had this been somebody else, right? Anybody else. I don't care. I have a lot of problems with Stephen Greer, right? Had Stephen Greer presented this evidence, I would have been, yes, thank God, Stephen. Thank God, Stephen Greer. Thank you so much. But because it was some Scott Roeder, a crime scene reconstruction expert, because it's someone like him who presents the evidence, right? For some reason, nobody wants to accept it, even though it's absolute. There's no question about it. I mean, you absorb all of that and you realize, oh, that's it. There's nothing. It can't be anything else. It can't. And guess what? Roeder's coming on my show by the end of this week, and we have some more evidence to show. And it's a done deal. It's been over for months now. It's been over since April 2nd, since we made that presentation with Scott Roeder on this show. It's over. But yet people in the UFO community, for some reason, they're not talking about this. Not a lot. Some of them are, but not a lot of them. There are some out there who have accepted it, but some other ones, some of the bigger names aren't talking about this for some reason. I mean, if you want to try to pry this information off the government, okay, why aren't you talking about this? So, hey, like I did. That's what I just did. Where's everybody else at? Why is this little tiny podcast that I have the only one that's doing this? Where's the bigger podcast at? Right? Where's everybody else at? Should be talking about this. Why aren't they? How could you sit back and pretend it's not real? Okay, and if you think it's not real, I want you to hear. Let's hear your argument. Come on, debate me. Let's have a debate then. Let's see who's right and who's wrong. I'll tell you what. I don't know what the reasoning is, right? And it doesn't, frankly, I don't even, it could be a myriad of different reasons. It could be a fear of getting egg on face for some people. Maybe they just haven't taken the time to absorb what has been presented completely, totally, and they're just not sure, and they don't want to dip their toe in something and then end up regretting it later on. Well, let me tell you something. There's going to be no regrets here. I'm assuring you, there's no way that I would have sent something like that to the Pentagon. There's no way I would have called April 2nd Vindication Day. Right? There's no way. I would never do something like that. Because I know this is right. If something's phony, I'm going to tell you if it's phony. Just like I talked about the Trinity UFO case, the Jacques Vallée, one of the most revered people in ufology. I love the guy. Unfortunately, his book was based on falsities because of the research of Douglas Dean Johnson. And just MUFON just recently was talking about some picture of a UFO crash. I'm not going to show it here because Ron James, during a recent interview, said it's copyrighted, even though it's all over Twitter and I've read it. I'll leave a link for it to check it out. I think it's fake. It's fake. It looks like models. And there's evidence that shows that it's probably models now. So I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm really confused. I'm confused when the evidence has been presented, and yet the UFO community, for the most part, is doing nothing. Jeremy Corbell, I love the guy. I love his documentaries. Right? I thought the stuff on the Bob Lazar documentary and the Patient 17 documentaries were great. I love watching him and George Knapp talking on the Weaponized podcast. But he comes out a month or so ago and makes a statement saying, oh, this is harmful to the UFO community. Stories like the Nazca stuff and the Nazca corpses and the Vegas alien stuff. For one thing, there's more scientists now getting on board with the Nazca mummy stuff. Didn't you look into this? Well, how could you make that statement? Why is it harmful? Why is proof, absolute proof that there's something here harmful? I'm still trying to figure that one out. What about George Knapp? How come he initially investigated the story? I haven't heard anything from him lately. How come he's not talking about it? It's the absolute proof. It proves it. The Vegas stuff proves that there's something in the here and now. The Peru stuff starting to look like it proves that there was something in the long past, 1,000 years ago or so, give or take, whatever. So where are they? Where are these other big names in the UFO community? How come they're not on board with this? What, are they afraid? I don't get it. They have more clout than someone like me, some little person like me out there with my little tiny podcast on Spotify and YouTube. They have more clout than me. How come they're not talking about this? We have the absolute proof. I sent a letter to the Pentagon. Nobody's talking about it. What? Tell me I'm crazy then. If you think I'm crazy, tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why Scott Roeder's analysis is wrong. Tell me why it's just shadows and compression artifacts. Prove it. Where's your experts at? Get your experts out and prove it then if you can. What are you waiting for? Come on, where's it at? All we've had is there's been nobody can do it, right? There was some guy that other than dumb opinions from some podcasters who don't even know what they're talking about, but it's not even worth arguing with them. But where's the scientific peer review? Where's the scientific peer review? Where is it? Scott Roeder said right the first day, hey, if he's wrong, he'll admit it, but he says he's not wrong. He doesn't see how he could possibly be wrong. And in fact, the more we look at that video, the more you realize that there's no way that he's wrong. So I'm trying to figure out, where is everybody? Where are they hiding? What's the matter with them? Where's Linda Moulton Howe? Right? Where's Linda Moulton Howe? I loved her investigation into cattle mutilations. How does she not know about this? I mean, has she? Where's she talking? When's she going to talk about this? In depth. When's she going to acknowledge that that this provides the absolute proof finally that we've been waiting for? And then everybody gets on board and we take it to the everybody goes to the Pentagon and says, look at. You're telling us you don't know anything about this? Well, how you're telling us there's aliens in these people's backyard? How come you're not talking about that? You don't know about this? Is this all new to you? Everybody in the UFO community should be on board with this right now, but they're not for some reason. Some people are. I give some podcasts some credit. Vetted has talked about it. The Cosmic Road has brought this up sometimes. Jack Connor over there talks about it. There's some that have talked about it, but some of the bigger names out there, they're not talking about it. This is the absolute proof. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Why am I the loudest voice on this one right now? Why is that? I mean, there's some other people out there. There are some other YouTube channels that talk about this all the time, and they try to. But I'm talking about the big names out there, the big names in the UFO community, the trusted people in the UFO community. Where are you? How come where are you at? How come you're sitting on your duff right now doing nothing? I like to know. A lot of us out there like to know. Give it. If you want to tell me I'm just a jerk or something, I don't give a. That doesn't matter. I don't care what you think about me. Let's talk about the evidence. Let's talk about what Scott Roeder has put forth. It proves it. There's no question about it. It's over. It's over, right? So if the government wants to tell us now that they know nothing about it, well, what do you mean you know nothing about it? Because obviously you have to know something about it because there's aliens in this video, just like people have been talking about for decades. And so you have to know it now. I haven't heard anything from the Pentagon. I didn't get no letter back. I didn't get no email back, right? They didn't get back to me. What are they going to do? They're not. Are they going to do? Is the UFO community just going to let this go by and let's pretend? Let's wait for them to finally do something, even though we have the proof right now. Is that what this is about? You still want to? You don't want to try to force it from them with the evidence? See, here's the thing. The more time goes by, this is like a game of chess, as far as I'm concerned. This is a game of chess, and I keep making a move every now and then, right? And I sit and wait, I wait for the next move to come. But guess what? It never comes. Because there are no moves from anybody. Nothing that's worth talking about anyway, right? So I mean, some phonies out there that think that they know what they're talking about, but it's no, you didn't prove nothing, right? But that's what's going on here. No, I'll just make another move, and then I'll make another move, and I'll make another move, and I'll just keep making moves. Why is it only me making the moves? Where's the rest of them? Everybody should be up here. Everybody should be pushing this. Everybody who's been talking about this subject for a long time, who knows that there's been a cover-up, should be pushing this evidence, should be talking about it to the people in the Congress. If you have contacts in the Congress, the Congress should know about it, right? They should know about it. It was on Fox Digital ran a big article a couple of weeks back, right? They should know about it. But no, not even people in the Congress want to talk about this. They're not addressing it. Guess what? Nobody could dispute it. That's the best part about it. It's guaranteed evidence. It's guaranteed over the top, right? Over the top. It's done. But yet some people are afraid or whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't know what's going on. But the evidence has been presented. But yet a good chunk of the UFO community is pretending it doesn't mean anything, or they don't even want to comment on it. It's not worth their time. I'd like to know, what does Dr. Gary Nolan got to say about it? He just seems like he wants to take a second look at the latest Peruvian corpses, alien corpses. He looks like he's open to that now. Okay, I'm tired of these debunkers. I want them to be shut up for good. I'm tired of listening to them. I'm tired of seeing their lies being spread constantly on the internet. So where's the UFO community? Why aren't they backing this? Right? How come everyone gets all excited by a picture of barely discernible lights in the sky and comments from military officials? Military personnel. We don't even have their names, anonymous. Like we don't know what that is, right? That people get all excited about that, or the floating jellyfish, where we get nothing except just the image of a floating jellyfish from a military camera. Everyone gets all excited about that, but when you put up actual, real, hard evidence that shows aliens themselves in a backyard running around using cloaking technology, right? When you show the real evidence, everyone just clams up, and it becomes, that's harmful. That's harmful to the discussion for some reason. Come on, where's everyone in the UFO community? I'm waiting to hear it. I don't care what you think about me. I want to hear what you say about the evidence. That's all I'm worried about. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. We have the proof now, the absolute proof. This isn't a story from Betty Barney Hill. This isn't claims from Bob Lazar, right? Without any other evidence whatsoever, right? This is absolute end-all, absolute proof. That's what it is. But the UFO community doesn't want to talk about this for some reason. And but I'm talking about it. I know what to do with it. I tell you what, I feel like I keep getting stronger by the day. As the days go by, I get strong. I feel like Altered Beast. Remember that Sega Genesis game from the 90s? Leveling up. I keep leveling up, right? And I'm just going. I'm walking right through it. This Vegas alien is a wrecking ball. That's what it is. It's a wrecking ball. And I don't understand. Where's the rest of the UFO community to help push that wrecking ball and knock the cover up over? It's proof of aliens here. It's proof. Lou was talking about aliens in the military has pictures of aliens in the craft itself. Well, we have pictures of aliens running around a backyard right now. It proves it. Where's everybody at? How come the rest of the UFO community is not talking about this? It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. Had it been anybody else, I would have been with them 100%. Everybody in the whole UFO community, some of the big names would have been the ones that present this initially, right? Rather than someone like me and Scott Roeder, right? Had it been anybody else, I would have been totally 100% behind it, because I would have been able to look at the evidence that's been presented, digest the whole thing, and make a determination. And if I didn't think there was anything to it, I would have said, well, I don't believe it, right? I would have said something. Right? But the rest of them aren't saying anything. And it's not right. It's not right. We have the evidence now, and there's no this is like the Excalibur. It's Excalibur. That's what the Vegas alien evidence is. It's Excalibur. It's like the UFO community could get together like a whole right now and be like King Arthur and just slam this cover up into a billion pieces right now. That's what they could do. And that's what it's time to do. We have the evidence. None of these debunkers could disprove it. Mick West won't even comment on it, because you know why? Because he looked at it. He knows. Everyone knows. So a lot of these debunkers know before some of the people in the UFO community know. Because I guarantee you that they were looking at this. When Scott Roeder started talking about this, a lot of people were looking at it. And they realized that, oh my God, this is it. There's no turning back now. We're over the line. I know that some people know this, but they're keeping quiet for some reason. Why are they keeping quiet? Why is everyone still being quiet about this? It's disgusting. I can't believe the UFO community. I'm mad at them. I don't know. You know what? I don't even care. I don't care what anybody thinks either. It has nothing to do with me. It has something to do with the proof, the truth that shows it. That's what it is. There's the proof that's out there now in the UFO, and some people, the big names in the UFO community, are just sitting back and not talking about it. They're not saying a word. And here we have it. We have the proof, and we could use this as a wrecking ball to end this cover-up right here and right now. Over. Shouldn't just be one person or two people or three people. It needs to be the whole UFO community needs to get behind this and know that this is the absolute proof, and there's nothing that could change that. Nothing. Nobody's dumb words are going to change that proof, just so you know. Okay, moving on. I'm going to do an update on the recent Spotify polls. Okay, for the episode, MUFON obtains UAP samples, but mystery thief walks off with portion of the unearthly material. I asked this question. Who stole the unearthly UAP materials from MUFON? 40 votes so far. 0 people say ET/NHI MIB. 2 people or 5% say Russian MIB. 9 people or 22.5% say other. 14 people or 35% say joint United States/ET MIB. And 15 people, the majority say, or 37.5% say United States MIB. That's who stole the unearthly UAP materials from MUFON. Of course, we're talking about just recently MUFON was reporting that they had obtained this, some Russian had obtained materials that are apparently from a UFO, and they're not of this earth, and that some of them were mailed to MUFON in a package, and that package apparently was stolen. Not all of the stuff was stolen, thankfully, but some of it was. So, so the majority says the United States MIB stole it. Yeah, I'd probably the same people that stole Brandon Fugel's flash drive a couple years ago. Probably the same group. I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, for the episode, The Silence is Deafening, or Think Like an Alien and Avoid Shiny Objects. I asked this question. Of the choices below, which is your favorite UFO extraterrestrial case? 51 votes so far. This is pretty good. 2 people, or 3.9%, say the Betty and Barney Hill case. 3 people, or 5.9%, say the 1973 Pascagoula abduction. 4 people, or 7.8%, say the Lonnie Zamora case. 7 people, or 13.7%, say the Travis Walton case. Another 7 people, or 13.7%, say the Roswell incident. 13 people, or 25.5%, say the Ariel School incident. And get this one, 15 people, or 29.4%, say the Bob Lazar claims. Of course, as you all know, I'm a big fan of Bob Lazar. I think he's telling the truth, even though I know some people in the UFO community don't believe him. But I do believe Bob Lazar. I think he was telling the truth. There's claims made that by people saying that this and this proves that Bob Lazar is a liar. I always look at this, and this, and I just don't see it. I'm just not seeing it. I don't see any proof that he's no absolute proof that Bob Lazar is lying. I see proof. To me, the proof leans toward him telling the truth. So that's I believe Bob Lazar. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.